Hello. Hello, everybody. Hold on. The setup's very janky. Give me a sec. I have my laptop here, but to the side to look at to pull up the chat. Uh, because I can't use my phone to look at the chat because I'm using the phone to record this. Yeah, give me a sec. We rustin' in the trenches? Yes, indeed. Today we are rustin' in the trenches. Wait, hold on. I just registered. I don't actually need my laptop to look at the chat because my monitor's right there and I don't need to draw on my monitor, so I can just look at. I'm an idiot. I didn't even need to do this. Now I have the chat pulled up twice. Well, uh it's fine. It's I'm learning. I'm getting there. My brain is doing things. Double the fun, indeed, double the fun. But yeah, how's everybody doing? The camera setup is gonna be a bit janky. Um, I am buying like a lamp, like a desk lamp, to help give some more light into the frame, because as you can tell, there's a big ass shadow of the microphone and the the phone blocking the sketchbook, which isn't good. So hopefully a second light source is gonna help with that. But yeah, we're gonna be working on witches. The reason I wanted to do it this way is because I feel more comfortable sketching ideas on the sketchbook. So if this is a good method to do it, I think it's gonna be nice. Okay. But yeah, also there's gonna be like constant zooming in and out on the camera. I can't do anything about it. The program, it says something something only available on iOS or something, which is kind of annoying. Um, so I don't have the function of locking down the zooming, so it just stays at the sketchbook level. As soon as I put my hand in front, it focuses on my hand instead. Apparently, they're more interesting than the drawing, which is kind of annoying. But I hope you can deal with that. It's gonna take some work before it looks right. But yeah. So lag. What do you mean lag? Is there lag? I have the camera at 15 frames per second because well I don't see a reason to make it any faster than that really because it's not like I'm moving at lightning speed. It's just me drawing. Yeah. So the camera's low frame rate just because I guess it'll help it work less hard. I don't know if it struggles with yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so witches, right? So uh we haven't really discussed witches before this stream yet, haven't we? Can't hear you, Simon. Well then open your ears. The mic is working, I think. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Right, we haven't really discussed witches yet, but basically the look of witches is very much not limited. Like I want to play around with them a lot when it comes to them visually. But basically the ruling is that each witch sort of has to embody a fear, right, in their visual language or in their look. That's it. That's literally it. Besides that, they have to have something on them that looks like an input, right, to take in mana and stuff. But that's pretty much it. So you need an input, and besides that, they can look like anything. So uh, that makes it kind of hard for me because I would love to think of witch designs that are like more ambiguous concepts, right? But it's also very hard for me. Like I'm not good at uh thinking up concepts or thinking up designs that are uh more abstract, I guess, right? But yeah, so I was thinking what we can do on the stream is we can try and design maybe a more or let's think of some suggestions first of what kind of witch we want to design. Like what fear do we want the witches to embody? The ones that I wrote down is that I wanted one that is insect witch because I already designed an insect witch like a while ago, and so literally and that one's a little easier because it's less of a concept and more of like a physical thing, right? So we can just sort of collage together all the aspects of insects that are nasty and then try to make a witch out of it. Um, but the second one that I find really appealing that I can't still figure out how to actually illustrate is I wanted a witch of claustrophobia, but obviously that's I don't know what the hell that means. Like what? Yeah, I don't know what that would turn into. Yeah, so what other fears do you think? Fear of the dark? Yeah, that's quite simple. What else? A snake witch? Yeah, we could do snakes. We could do snails. I like snails, but people sometimes are scared of snails. Holes, right? Trypophobia. Holes. Fear of teeth. Okay. Heights. Yeah, it's close enough to how you spell heights. Ocean. Fear of women. Then the witch would just look like a woman, right? How do you visualize a fear of death? I don't know. That's sort of the issue with the witches is it'll force me to do things like I can push concepts a lot further, but that also means they're a lot harder. Worm witch, that's fun. Yeah, like I don't know what the hell a death witch would look like. Like, is it from the like is it must be then from the perspective of the person who is the witch. So what they perceive to be the concept of death. So it wouldn't like maybe it's like a classic just skull and crossbones, but maybe they have another idea of death as a concept. Barbed wire witch is actually neat because I mean it is war. Gun witch, gun war witch. Yeah, like a trench witch. Yeah, but it's a lot harder for like witches that are associated with concepts rather than actual physical things. Like a fear of bears. I can turn a fear of bears easily into like a witch, I'd say. But like death, heights, claustrophobia, uh that sort of thing that don't really immediately tell you a like physical trait that you can put on them. That those are going to be hard. Fear of being watched. Yeah. It's Chainsaw Man. Yeah. Fat witch. Fear of fat. Fear of fat people. There you go. Fear of fat. Is it like afraid to become fat or just afraid of people that are fat? Because I mean, in the world, someone fat would be quite a rarity, honestly, due to the rationing and stuff like that. It sort of is from like kind of healthy looking to anemic. Like that's the range we have in the world. So somebody fat would be an anomaly. Fat people scare me. Yeah, then maybe that's an actual fear in the world. You see a fat person, it's like, oh my god, how are they so wide? There's no food. Fear of birth or pregnancy. That's gonna be horrifying. Okay, which which do you think we should tackle first? Hold on, let me add the insect. Like which just we're not gonna stick to it, just like which one do you think would be fun to like think about first, and we can try brainstorming like what kind of aspects that we can have to the design. Also, uh, I guess it doesn't have to it doesn't have to specifically be a character either, because the witch can, if it could turn into a location as well, I guess. Miscarriage witch. The, that's doppelganger witch. Well, that'll just be looking like the person who, I guess, like doppelganger. Fear of love and commitment. How are we gonna love and commitment? Fear of forests. Divorce witch. Freaky witch. Heights witch sounds cool to work on. What I'm imagining, okay. For example, let's just go with one of the topics, heights. So the most straightforward thing would be just to have a tall witch, but that doesn't really affect the, like if somebody has a fear of heights and runs into a tall ass witch that's like above the clouds or something, like if we go extreme, you're not going to be scared of, that's more like that fear of giant things instead of actual heights. So it could be that the witch takes you to a high place, like it like yanks you up maybe. So instead the witch is like tall as fuck and has like these like hooks or tendrils that yank you up into the air maybe. So all you see is like the tendrils, and then she has like big old legs to hold her up or something. I don't know how the fuck this thing would actually. A fear of becoming like your father. Fuck. How do I turn that into a witch? She could make you levitate. Well, okay, here's the thing. The we can have it have magical effects that are quite like straightforward. Like, yeah, she can make you levitate and fly up into the air. But the hard part is actually making her physical design, like her physical shape, represent the fear. Right? That's the hard part, not the magic that they cast. Uh, yeah, yeah, not just women. Men and women can be witches. Fear of blood could be cool. Yeah, blood. But yeah, how can you represent heights as a fear? Like we can have the yanking up, right? Like snatching people into the sky. What other way is there to even? It's kind of it, right? I can't think of anything else. That's the hard part. Fear of bats. They start as humans and then turn into witches. Floats in the sky and drags people up. How would it do that? I'm imagining we could have her like this might be a little weird. We can have her basically hang off of a balloon. If we make her like really grabby, like she's got long arms and legs, and then have her like rib cage split open on the back and have her lungs basically be turned into like giant balloons that help like float her across the sky. Is that like something like that maybe? So we could either have her be the grabber or have her be up at the balloons and like reeling people in. So like her top half is here and she's like holding a rope, but that's like her intestine or something. And she's like, you know, like she catches somebody and then she goes like pulling them up. Her hair maybe? Maybe. What's on the end of the hook? Like how are we thinking she does this? Or like what does she use to attract people here? Is it that she just like fishes for them? A fear of being a disappointment to my father. I feel like a few people in the chat are having some issues here that I don't necessarily think I can help you with. Or they don't fit into a witch design. I think you just have some issues. There are professionals you can contact for that sort of stuff. I'd recommend doing that. Object they have lost. Hmm. Okay, hold on. So I'm sort of thinking, what if she's slurping them up? Like what if it's her tongue? Not I'm not trying to get freaky here. It's just like that might be a scary visual, you know, scary. And it's scary. It's not supposed to be freaky, but like she's like like a spaghetti strand and she's gripping it. like both hands, and then the big old lungs. Right? What's at the end of the tongue though? How does he? So we can either do like at the end of the tongue there's like a claw, right? That's one solution. That's like simple. We could make it sticky. What if it gets sticky? Sticky? Or uh what other methods do not make it sticky? How about a harpoon? Yeah, we could do it like a harpoon. Also works. So it's like she fires it. She out of her mouth, she goes and then the it just like blasts into somebody's chest, impaling them, and then woo, they get yanked up into the air. Yeah, a net can also work. Thank you for the $10 Plorp. I think it could be fun if the height switch couldn't survive at high altitudes for long, so it spends most of its time on the ground and only goes up when ready to kill. Also, reminds me of Nope. Oh yeah, it does sort of remind me of Nope. Though the Nope alien, it just sucks them, right? Like it's just vacuums them up, kinda. Height witch, fire your tongue, and my life is your Jesus. Reminds me of the vultures of Rainworld. Oh, good point. Yeah, that is pretty much what they do, right? I think the main interest in her design would be the big old lungs, like the lung balloons. How big is the witch? Could have it levitate through the trees to hide and catch people with its arms, and then float up to eat away. Yeah, I'm sort of thinking, it could be just human sized. I mean, they can be, like, they can turn into pretty much anything if you leave them long enough. This is tough. Would you be able to shoot the lungs and she just deflates like a balloon? I mean, yeah. I feel like that'd be expected to happen if you shoot her out of the air. How does she move in the air? I get magic, but does she like blow air to propel herself through the air? So do curses make witches, or do witches make curses? Who knows? Farts. She farts. Uh, I feel like that answer was inevitable for some reason. Schwartz farting. God damn it. No, we're not having a floating farting witch. Yeah. Maybe, hold on. I think we're stagnating on this one. You gotta go with another one. I think, okay, do you think that's a good, by the way, do you think it's a good concept for what witches are designed like? Or do you think there needs to be another element besides just them embodying fears that might help us into a certain direction? What? I like the idea that it falls when it exhales and rises when it inhales. Nothing that breathes in and out at a normal speed. Oh, that is kind of freaky though. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. What if we go like actually that what if it's crawling around ready to like jump on people. Basically like do you know the blood-starved beast from Bloodborne? Like the one with the flabby skin? Like the lungs deflate, it drops out of the air, just plops on the ground, and then starts crawling around high speed, like catching anybody that it finds, and then it immediately like starts inhaling and just like floats up into the sky again. Like I feel like that'd be pretty cool. It'd be freaky as hell. Yeah, and then occasionally you just see it drop out of the sky again. What if it yeah, that would cause it to look like a horrifying mess too. Just like I don't think it would like it survives because it has a copious amount of mana in it in itself, but it also like breaks its bones every time it just like no gentle landing at all. It just drops out of the sky every time looking like a falling angel because the lungs deflated flopping in the air sort of look like wings, but then it just like puffs and then scuttles. Yeah, like a very clumsy swooping predator just mangled from the fall. Yeah. So like how would we I feel like having her upside down like it I can make them break out of her back, but I feel like if we do like the ring style or not the ring style, fucking um the chick who walks down the stairs backwards, whatever her name is, I forgot. Yeah. So like out of her chest come the lungs, so she's walking like this, with her hands like upside down and legs upside down. Exorcism, yes. What would its body look like? So, okay, so drops out of sky, mangled, scuttling, floppy. Imagine you're hitting it. And then she just, my God. Could the lungs contain the victim? I mean, I don't think it would. Is I don't think she would. She needs to be really light. That's the thing. Like through the translucent flesh, you'll be able to see bone. Are you saying like the lungs should be translucent? I think that's quite neat actually. Sort of. I'm imagining like what's that? I can't think of the name. Never mind. But yeah, I'm sort of struggling to think of the body as anything else than just a backwards person. You know, it doesn't have to be more than that, but I'm like thinking I really want to like push the body proportions more, but I can't think of how I would push them more. Like what else besides just having them be, a person. Give her webbed feet and hands. Why? It looks like abominable skin pants when it walks. Yeah, cuz okay, when it's deflated, I just imagine the lungs just flopping to the side basically. So she just looks like a wet rag, like a like like a like a crawling blood clot. Just red, messy with like big veins. Definitely skinny. Yeah, definitely skinny. What does she do to the people up there? Like, what was she doing? Moist? Yeah, moist looking. That makes sense because I feel like exposed lungs would need to stay quite moist. Eat them? Kissing them? Spit on that? What? Kiss? Suffocating them. Scare them. She floats them up to the top, like top of the skybox, and she goes, ooh, and they go, ah! And then she's like, okay, now you can go back down. And just drops them, sucking their blood. What would she need? Yeah, that's sort of the question. Like, what does she need? She explodes them with air dripping from the sky. What if she opens her rib cage and she puts them in there, looking directly at the ground below? Like you get a free like uh hot air balloon ride. I mean, it is kind of freaky. You could have it be like she's hugging them and just forcing them to stare at the ground. Don't know why she'd do that. Like those creepy hugs where she's like holding up her victim and then her head's like right next to theirs, nuzzling up and shit. I know you can't tell what the hell I'm even drawing, but trust me, it's something. Hmm. What if she keeps them like that to eat? Watch the video I did on witches and curses. It'll help you understand. Yeah, what if it's more. Yeah, that is a good point, actually. Oh, it is more like she's not aggressive. She's more like desperately clinging to people instead of like hunting them down. So it's like you said, neck extended to the ground. So it's like every time she drops down, she's grasping for anything she can find before she floats back up, and that's often people. They might just die when she drops back down. So she is afraid of heights? Yeah. I don't know if she eats people. That's the thing. I'm not quite sure. Clingy ex girlfriend witch. Yeah, kind of. So she has to just find somebody again. Yeah. What if it's like, hold on. She's constantly trying to eat because she's trying to get heavier so she doesn't float up. So it's not like she can just keep picking up the same shit or like the same person because she consumed them. But she's like burning calories really fucking fast for some reason. I don't know why she'd be getting lighter so quickly. Guess that's a part of the transformation. Is just like she's incredibly thin and shit and constantly needs like nutrients to hopefully get heavy enough so the next time she breathes in, she doesn't float away. Why doesn't she get rocks? Cause she hungry. So, how do you feel about witches not manifesting a fear but built to forever attempt to soothe said fear for themselves? That is interesting. Wendigo energy? Yeah, like they're constantly starving, or she's constantly starving and like desperately trying to get to the next meal, but also she's deathly afraid of heights as well. So we have to make sure that it's desperate. I desperate, frantic, not in control. So I sort of want to make it seem like the way she flies up every time and like drops back down isn't, it's involuntary. Like every time she's desperately scrambling to find something, every time she gets an opportunity to drop to the ground, and then she just gets hoisted up again without a warning. So do we think her, what if we have her head like flat? If that, like, she's been falling the same way like probably hundreds of times at this point. What if we just have her head be like this, like just squished? I mean, I'm drawing it upside down. I don't know why I'm making it harder for myself. Like, you know those people that don't have like skulls in some places and their head just sort of like goes in to where their brain is? We could do that with like hair around it and then just have her nose and then her mouth, and her eyes can just be whatever. Maybe, like, what, okay, if what would somebody dropping out of the sky over and over again but not dying from it, what would that look like? I feel like it kind of looked like there's that movie about the beach where the beach like ages you really quickly. Spoilers. And there's a chick who like falls from a cliff, and everybody thought she died, but because the beach like ages you really quickly, she basically survived the injuries because her body healed it. And so she healed all wrong, like all her legs and arms were broken, but they healed that way. Yeah, thank you for the $5. Nomad Theus. Nomad Theus? Thank you. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Maybe include elements of the Bloody Eagle execution method of the for the witch's design. I'm gonna have to search that up. Bloody Eagle. What is that about? Oh shit! Like the open back. That could be interesting. I saw that in fucking Hannibal did that, didn't he? Midsummer. Yeah, I think Midsummer did that as well. Um, yeah. I mean, we were doing it, but from the front pretty much, because uh, I I'm thinking about it, and like from the back, it is cool, but I feel like having her bent over, or like her like sort of folded over, is more neat. But yeah, the ribs would be open like that. God, I'm sort of stuck on it. I don't know. I don't know what to continue. Oh, thank you for the 5,000 W's. Appreciated. Low blow. Always love your art. You inspire me to draw too. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I'm sucking at drawing. I can't think of anything. Yeah, I can't come up with a look for her. Hold on. What the fuck am I? Like, sort of like that, just like twisted backwards. Her head looking like down, and her back is here, ribs, and then her lungs are up there, and then her butt's like here, and then legs. Having her like collarbones stick out unnaturally, I think would be interesting. What if she has a bump? Yeah, yeah, like that's what I'm struggling to think about. Like, what's the visual of her dropping out of the sky every time? Like, I'm thinking her arms and legs are like broken and in concerning angles. Like she has more breaks than you should have. But besides that, I can't really think of how the head looks. Unless we go the route of like that Titan from Attack on Titan that like scrapes his head across the ground and then he just has his face missing and just like a cutaway of the face. But that's not really the same thing. And also I feel like it makes sense for her to have been impaled by a few things. Like just have like random sticks and shit. How do witch hunters kill witches? They shoot them and then they die. What are we even trying to make at this point? We're trying to make a witch that represents the fear of heights, which is harder than I thought. I mean, no, it's as hard as I thought, honestly. I knew it was going to be difficult cuz I'm not good at like making more like vague concepts like this. Thank you for the $5. The Titter Pig. Is Zdzislaw Bekczynski one of your influences? I feel like you've got the same stylistic inspiration as the guy making the Forever Winter. Yeah, I like Zdzislaw Bekczynski's work a lot. The reason the war has a orange sky is just because of him. It sounds like the forest would be a good reference. True. I think like she needs some more elements that aren't just skin. You know, maybe just like some tattered cloth as well. What if we try and tell a little more of a story? More story. We need more story. I'm imagining tattered, like ruined clothing, but also like ropes and stones tied to the waist. It's not like she's not trying or she hasn't tried to like prevent it. So like she could be cold up there. Good point. What if we take frostbite into consideration? Are we at the Freaky Witch yet? No, sadly not. We're not at the Freaky Witch. We're just at the Hype Witch, which is clearly not as interesting. Oh, biting her tongue off might actually be interesting because it could be like she had her tongue sticking out and then dropped on her head, so she like accidentally bit her own tongue off. Although her teeth would be broken too. A lot of bones would be broken. Why would someone want to become a witch? Good point. Nobody wants to become a witch. That's the whole, like, nobody chooses to become a witch. It's not a choice the same way like being a mage is. It just happens to people. But yeah, cut off tongue. Yeah, how long do we think she's up there? How long do you have to stay in like cold? How cold can it? Hold on. Oh, thank you for the $5, CB21. Can you please explain how Varus and Ram are aesthetically different? What each of them are inspired by? I just can't tell what things are from what. Yeah, I'm writing a document on that at the moment to like hopefully separate everything. I'm gonna share that eventually. So it's gonna be difficult to explain it. Basically, Varus is very eccentric and over the top. They are very focused on vanity and decoration, and they're inspired by Thai art and clothing. So like ornate golden carvings and stuff like that and Thai patterns. Ram, on the other hand, is a lot more brutal and simple, if that makes sense. Like all of their they still do patterns and stuff, but their patterns are more representations of what the thing they're doing patterns of, or what the thing they're putting patterns on the utility of the thing they're putting patterns on is. If they make a suit of armor, the patterns they're going to put on the suit of armor are most likely going to represent the toughness of the armor. So like boars or pigs or things, like very straightforward symbolism. But compared to like Varus, I don't think I've fleshed out Rom's inspirations as much as Varus's. So I don't know either. I'm still like trying to work it out. But yeah, what was I gonna search up? I was gonna search up something. Um, the fuck was I gonna search up? Right, frostbite. Um, how long till frostbite sets in? Straight up just Maharaja? What is that? Also, maybe it doesn't make that much sense for frostbite, because if she can stay up there, I mean, her lungs are probably the most sensitive thing, so it's quite strange that her lungs haven't given out before anything else. The fuck is Maharaja? I have no idea what that is. I searched it up. It's like an anime character. Something. Wings for eyes. Okay. It feels like she'd move like an octopus, no solid bones left, just muscle tissue doing its best to maintain mobility. Yeah. Hold on. Um, update and shut down. Oh, fuck off. My thingy's low battery. And my cable's stuck. There you go. There you go. Okay, maybe I need to. I definitely need to look up some references. What's a death from height like falling called? Does that have a particular name? Death from falling? Because then I can search that up. Shit. Sorry, that was probably pretty loud. Holy fuck. Falling to your death? Yeah, Zenitar, thank you for the 2 NZ dollars. Fear stems from being failed version ROM paratroop. I guess, maybe. No, I definitely found some reference. Fuck. Yeah. Okay, I know what her head's gonna look like. Yeah, I'm not. Obviously, I can't share it in stream, but I found some very graphic detail of victims from falling, and they sort of just turn to mush. Like a lot more like I can visualize mush or I can visualize falling damage in my head, but finding the reference actually just makes it a lot worse. Stop looking, Simon. I'm an artist. This is I've I've succumbed to the fate of having to look up this shit because I decided to make a world where this kind of stuff exists. But yeah, hold on. So it kind of just yeah, the head kind of just pops. Give me a second. So I'm imagining if she has her head backwards, I don't think we're gonna get to see the eyes. Those are, or if then they're gonna be just sort of loosely hanging. I mean, I think that mainly the design of her is gonna be body horror then at that point, because that is pretty much what it is. How the fuck does she eat people? Oh, thank you for the £5, malicious fish. If the witch can die from a gunshot, how does she survive the fall? And surely her lungs would have been punctured. Can she really heal from that? I don't know. I have no idea. I feel like she is probably tougher than normal, because to for the sake of like being able to survive that sort of shit. So maybe it's gonna take a little more than a few gunshots. Who knows? God, the fucking autofocus is going nuts. What if she uses the bodies as a sort of free fall? Yeah, that could make sense. So I'm having trouble drawing today or like recently as well. I have no idea what the hell's going on with me. Okay, so the head is here. Yeah. Yeah, I can't draw for the life of me today. I don't know what the fuck. Thank you for the £6 euros. Team N Gaming. Simon left-handed? Yeah, yeah. I'm left-handed. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I was gonna be able to draw better this stream, but doubt that's gonna happen. Or it's yeah. I'm gonna have to end the stream today. Sorry, can't draw. I can't draw today.